Welcome back, DIYers, hot rodders, LS swappers, fishermen, pole dancers, and power junkies all in one. This video marks the beginning of the LS swap slash turbocharged slash Malibu slash G-body shuffle with a catchy clickbait title that you guys love so much. We're going to start out this project by modifying some manifolds. That's the big common thing. Everybody likes to use manifolds for these turbo swaps. In this particular case, the manifolds don't really point in the direction we need them to. They don't clear the frame or anything like that. So we get to do quite a bit of modification to this one. Now, as you can see, I've already cut it like this. That's just so we can get it in the car and get it pointed in the right direction. I actually have to kind of cut it even further back. But I'm going to show you a little trick that we're going to work on. We want this pipe to actually kind of point forward and downward before it does anything. So we're going to find out how we can adapt a piece of 2.5-inch tubing to this pipe, make it fit good, and make it look good so when we weld it up, it'll look like a nice finished part. So follow along as we do that. I'm going to show you a couple tricks. Okay, I'm going to kind of hold this pipe up here and eyeball it for the direction that I want it to go. And I'm going to put some layout lines on it carefully with this slightly abused Sharpie. Alright, this is just 2.5-inch tubing that we're laying it out with. That's what the crossover pipe's going to be made with. We're going to Blair Witch mode real quick so I can show you exactly how I'm going to cut that pipe. Alright, there's the layout lines. Highly technical. Now let's see how we're going to cut it. Okay, step number 2. Now that we've got the edge cut off, or the end cut off the manifold, we want to set up to run this hole saw in the end of the manifold. You say, how are we going to do that? Well, since that piece is cut away from the manifold, there's nowhere for the pilot to go. We have to put something there for that pilot to go to. So we're going to weld a little tab to the manifold so we have a place to run the pilot drill through and get us started into the cut. You're going to weld on a cast iron manifold? Yes. Just do it. In this case, no, we don't have to preheat it and post-heat it and do all that other jazz. We're just going to weld a tab on it that we're actually going to cut away. Okay, there it is. Now we're going to weld that dude in place. And we're going to come back and I'm going to show you how we're going to use the hole saw. That should do it for all the more that we're going to use that tab. Now you can spend all your time analyzing the metallurgical properties of cast iron and the little tab that we welded on it, or you can just weld the tab on it and get it over with. Now that we've done that, back to Blair Witch mode, I'll show you what it looks like. There you go, quick view. Only welded up one side of it inside of there, not that it really matters. Okay, next step. We're going to drill a pilot hole through that tab. As you can see, it's in line with the center line of the tube that we laid out earlier. Now what this is going to do is going to give me a place for the pilot of the hole saw to go through. Now that hole saw is not going to make it all the way through this with that pilot engaged, because either the back of the hole saw will hit here or will not be able to cut all the way through. That's fine, because at some point the pilot, we won't need it anymore, and I'll show you where that comes into play shortly. Okay, the pilot hole for the pilot hole is in place now. Now, if you'll notice there in the video, I spent a little bit of time trying to get that drill lined up where the center line of the drill is going to go down the center line of the manifolds, that the pipe sits in the middle and don't look goofy. There's a fine art to doing that. Lots of practice, lots of screwing stuff up, but every once in a while you get lucky. Hopefully this is one of those times. Oh, you gotta have highly calibrated eyes too. Just, you know, just saying. All right, here we go. That's the part you gotta watch out for. All right, we're ready to try it again. Maybe that ought to be enough. We'll see. Okay, so now we've knocked this piece out that I said was going to fall out earlier. Now that this is out of the way, we can kind of steer the hole saw around a little bit because it doesn't rely on the pilot to guide it. So we're going to use that ability to center it up perfectly in the manifold, or as good as we can. And then we'll have a perfect notch for that 2.5 inch tubing to sit in. Okay, now we've got the manifold trimmed up. We got the small piece of tubing tacked in place. And as you can see, it fits pretty stinking good now that we cut it with that hole saw. Now I'm going to go ahead and weld this thing up, and I'm going to do the unthinkable. I'm going to weld it without heating it up. I know the YouTube naysayers, armchair quarterbacks are going to say it's going to crack and it's not going to work and all this different stuff. And you should have heated it in a thermonuclear oven on the planet Mars like they do in aerospace type stuff, you know, but that's not what this channel is about. This is DIY garage. We do it with what we have to do it with. So here we go. We're going to weld it up, and that'll be it. Okay, check it out. We got it all welded up. It turned out pretty stinking good, actually. See, everything's fitted up nice and neat. No fat welds on there or anything like that. Now, we're going to do something similar to the driver's side. It's a little more space constrained, so we'll have to work on that. So we'll call that quits for this video. The next video, we're going to cover the driver's side, maybe part of the crossover, and we'll kind of go from there. I'll put it all in a playlist for the Malibu build, and yeah, that's it. So, as usual, subscribe if you haven't, thumbs up, pretty please, ask nice. And we'll see you in the next one. Thanks again. Please leave your comments down below, down here. I'd love to hear what you got to say. eBay, YouTube experts and all, please, by all means, chime in. Outside of that, we will see you in the next video.